Hello, and welcome back to Wonderland Asylum. We're back today with issue 100 of the Hachette Partworks release of Titanic, the ship, the legend. So, issue 100, a century of magazines on the Titanic, a century of build parts, 40 to go. So, what's in the magazine? Part 2 of the sinking of Lusitania. Again, an artist's rendering. It was largely civilian casualties, again, and make the old Germans look very good. And these were prints in the New York Times in 1919. Again, passengers on deck in 1908. It was the jewel of the Cunard fleet at that point. Obviously a rather inauspicious end. It's the lifeboats arriving in Queenstown, Ireland. Of course it was off the coast of Ireland that it was sunk. And apparently the wreck was disputed, an article there. In 1935, some divers, if you've ever played the game Bioshock, that's what they always remind me of. In 1935, it was 300 metres down. Not quite as far as Titanic. Irishmen avenge the Lusitania. Join the Irish regiment today. Why not, eh? Why not? But that is us on to the instructions for issue 100. So, for the 100th time, let's have a look at what's in the box. So, what's in the box? Much as before, really. Pack of LM screws. And in the envelope, the starboard side of the upper hull. Very nice. Perfect. So, we'll get rid of that. And again, we'll get the hull up so we can work on it. And so you can see, more importantly. Again, as I say, I think this one's going to be slightly more difficult because of the proximity of the pins and the holes here. Might need to actually loosen one of the screws that we put in last time up a little bit. But let's see how it goes. Oh no, there we go. Not difficult at all. We've certainly done a lot worse. But yeah, not too bad. Okay, so let's get our LM screws out. There are 5 of them that we need. Again, as usual, a spare supplied. So the first one I'll put in, as usual, this one down here, because that kind of pins everything together. So yeah, issue 100, jeez. We've been doing this for a while, because initially for the first 10 issues it was one a fortnight, not one a week. So we've been doing this no longer than 2 years now. Way more than 2 years. So yeah. It's tight. Tight in this back section. Now my wonder is, how are we going to fit the final few? I'm going to have to turn the Allen key the other way for this bit. Don't like that. How are we going to fit the final piece of hull with the poop deck and everything like that? How's that going to fit on? Because I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do that. But we shall see, I suppose. There we go. I'll show you what I mean when we're done. I'm not going to be able to get any sort of tooling to screw anything else on, even the Allen key, because you're not going to have much room to do anything. I suppose we can only wait and see how they do it, because the final section of hull is going to be very, very kind of narrow. And I wonder how they're going to put it all together. Because with Bismarck it was kind of sideways plates, little joining bridges, but they never used them not since the very front of the bow in Titanic. Bismarck had plates that were held together by small metal tabs that went across them. I prefer the way they've done it with Titanic, to be honest, because I have had issues with Bismarck's plates coming loose and having to lift decks off to get in and tighten them again. But that's a different story. I don't see that being an issue with Titanic, at least I hope not. But we shall see in the fullness of time, I suppose. And again, that's Bismarck just sitting on its plinth, not really doing anything else. Okay. And finally, this screw here. Very nice. Now that's very rigid. Obviously you've got the two slots that you can see there where the propellers will come through. But yeah, what I think I'm going to do is go and get the engines and put them back in to let you see, because it's not the easiest task to put the engines in. If you remember, I did it for you last time, but I will get the engines and we'll have a wee look. Okay, so here we have the engines that we constructed previously. Now you can see where they're going to sit, but we do need to feed the prop shafts through these holes, and then as we push the engines down, we need to pull the hull out to get them down past the screw holes. Just like that, and then you can see the posts that they sit on. And that is what the engines look like. And there are the propeller shafts coming out the back. And you can see what I mean by the hull. The hull's going to start coming in, and I don't know how we're going to be fixing it all together, because there are posts you can see there, but it's going to be very tight to get a tool in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Titanic back in her place, and I'm going to put the upper decks on her. So bear with me just a minute. So here is Titanic as of issue 100. Absolutely magnificent. So pleased with how she's looking. Absolutely amazing. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. So that's us. 100 and done. What's coming in issue 101? The first part of the display stand and a wire. My thoughts on that are, why are we doing the display stand now? Because it's going to be very, you know, I can feel when I lift it up, the front's very heavy compared to the back. So if we're going to be building the stand and then setting it on it, it's going to want to fall off. So I'm not sure. We'll see what they're wanting us to do with it, whether it just sits on, whether it's attached. Bismarck, certainly the power is in the stand. I don't know what they're going to do with Titanic. There are two holes kind of further forward in the hull, but there aren't any further back, so I don't know is the honest answer. We'll need to wait and see, and I'm sure we will. They haven't disappointed us so far. Anything we've had queries, quandaries or doubts about, they've resolved reasonably well. And yeah, you can see how she looks with all the decks kind of mocked up on top of her, not with any degree of accuracy. But yeah, she looks phenomenal, I'm sure you'll agree. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me for 100 issues of Titanic. Join me for the rest, the remaining 40, as we finish off this grand lady. And join me for the rest of the Lancaster bomber and of course the U-96 U-boat and any future projects that may come along. But as always, feedback, comments, criticisms, drop them below. Do leave me a like and do subscribe to see the rest of this build and all these other builds too. But thanks for watching guys, and as always, peace out everyone.